20 Treasures, Ralph McLean from the National Library of Scotland talks about the diary of Captain Felix O'Neill from 1746.
So we nominated the diary of Captain Felix O'Neill for a couple of reasons. First of all, it contains important historical context about a key moment in Scottish history, which is the Battle of Culloden, and the aftermath and the escape of Bonnie Prince Charlie, or Charles Edward Stuart. And the other reason that we selected it is because of the visual or aesthetic appeal of the item as well. So the journal or the diary of Felix O'Neill is written on the back of playing cards, which is obviously an unusual medium in which to record a journal or a diary. We think this item is of national significance because it's an eyewitness account of someone who was in close proximity to Charles Edward Stuart, a critical time in Scottish history. So Captain O'Neill was with the Jacobites. He was present at the Battle of Culloden, and he was also in close proximity to the Prince after the defeat of the Jacobites and following his escape across the Highlands. He was instrumental in introducing Bonnie Prince Charlie to Flora MacDonald, and obviously the important story where Flora MacDonald helps Bonnie Prince Charlie to escape over the sea to Skye. So from that point of view, as I say, it's an important eyewitness account of a critical time in Scottish history. So the diary itself is written on the back of playing cards, and I think that's interesting in and of itself because it indicates that it's not just, bits of pieces of paper, letters that make up archives and make up records. That important historical documents are written in all sorts of papers, media, and different types. And the story is effectively that because he had nothing else to hand, no reams of paper, in order to record these events, he scribbled down the events on the back of these playing cards. And on the cards, you can see clearly the diamonds and the hearts that would have obviously made up the various suits on these playing cards. Now, there is a bit of a problem with this on the grounds that there are multiple versions of this journal in existence. So the romantic version of the story is that while he's on the run and the government forces are tracking him down, that he's scribbling and jotting these writings down. However, it's quite possible that this might have been put down later on because we know that he was arrested by government forces, he was imprisoned, and then afterwards he then wrote down copies of the journal, and there are several copies in existence, one of which is in the Lion in Mourning, which the library also holds. But it's interesting because this corroborates ideas and corroborates stories. For example, Flora MacDonald herself agrees with Captain Felix O'Neill's version of events as to how the two met, how Flora MacDonald met Bonnie Prince Charlie. So even though the journal itself might have, some sort of discrepancy about it, it does corroborate historical events, if you like, so it's important from that point of view.
For more information, visit www.scottisharchives.org.uk/treasures.